on. We have the chair recognizes Carolyn Crane and Alan Rogers for the proposal of a resolution.
Okay, I'm Carolyn Crane, Precinct Committee Officer 337. And for the record, I'm about to read a resolution that I had the wonderful help of Kelly Fiscom, our secretary, in getting written and distributed. Brian White was going to be here to assist in this process, and he could not make it. So I've asked Alan Rogers, and he read them and agreed that this was an important issue, so he has agreed to assist me in reading this resolution. It was important to me since I was the first unpaid, never been paid, Clark County volunteer for Jaime Herrera Beutler in 2010, and I stood by her all these years. I'm going to bring this to the floor tonight, and I'm going to ask you in voting for this resolution. The resolution from Clark County Republican Central Committee, censure of Congresswoman Jaime Herrera Beutler, passed by the Clark County Republican Central Committee at their first quarterly business meeting on Tuesday, February 23rd, 2021.
Whereas articles of impeachment against President Donald J. Trump were filed and voted on by members of the U.S. House of Representatives with no formal hearings held, no quantifiable evidence presented, no witnesses sworn to give testimony, and no right to cross-examine the accusers provided. And
whereas Congresswoman Jaime Herrera Beutler did vote in favor of the impeachment of President Donald J. Trump, despite the lack of any formal hearing being held, evidence being presented, witnesses being sworn to testify, or accusers being questioned, and
whereas Congresswoman Jaime Herrera Beutler cast her vote without any quantifiable evidence of high crimes or misdemeanors, and
whereas Congresswoman Jaime Herrera Beutler was elected by a majority of Washington's 3rd Congressional District voters to represent the will, the values, and the stated preferences of the majority of said voters, and
whereas Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court is obligated by Article 1, Section 3, Clause 6 of the U.S. Constitution to preside over impeachment trials, and Chief Justice John Roberts declined to preside over the impeachment trial in the U.S. Senate, indicating an unwillingness of the Supreme Court to lend legitimacy to this impeachment proceeding, and
whereas Congresswoman Jaime Herrera Beutler has violated the trust of her voters, failed to faithfully represent the majority of the 3rd Congressional District voters, and neglected her duty to represent the Republican Party and the will of the people who elected her to represent them. And Congresswoman Jaime Herrera Beutler's actions have resulted in numerous Republicans in Clark County, the 3rd Congressional District, Washington State, and the United States of America, indicating they will either no longer actively participate in the Republican Party or are stepping down from precinct committee officer positions within the Republican Party, or have canceled their donations to the Republican Party and withdrawn their support, rendering themselves independent voters for as long as Congresswoman Jaime Herrera Beutler holds office.
therefore, be it resolved, the Clark County Republican Central Committee does hereby censure Congresswoman Jaime Herrera Beutler of the 3rd Congressional District of Washington State for her actions on Wednesday, January 13th, 2021, for voting in favor of a process that eliminated investigation and public hearings, provided no evidence to consider, called no witnesses to be sworn, and allowed none of the accusers to be questioned by the accused, and
Be it further resolved, the Clark County Republican Central Committee will withhold any future political funding and support of all resources for the Congresswoman Jaime Herrera Beutler unless the Clark County Republican Central Committee finds reason to the contrary based upon an in-person explanation from Congresswoman Jaime Herrera Beutler and
Be it further resolved, the Clark County Republican Central Committee calls on Congresswoman Jaime Herrera Beutler to appear before this body at its next quarterly business meeting of Tuesday, May 25th, 2021, to explain her actions to this body, the Washington State Republican Party membership, and the entirety of the concerned 3rd Congressional District electorate, and
be it further resolved, the Clark County Republican Central Committee will work together, whole and unified, in conjunction with the other 6 counties in the 3rd Congressional District, Lewis County, Pacific County, Wahkiakum County, Cowlitz County, Skamania County, Clickitat County, and Southern Thurston County, to vet and select a single conservative Republican candidate to run for the 3rd Congressional seat in the 2022 congressional race. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, the chair appreciates the unity shown. So now it's time for some discussion. We're going to have yeas on this side, nays on this side, and hold on, Carolyn, it was proposed, this resolution was proposed by whom?
Me,
So Carolyn Crane, PCO number
337.
337, and it was seconded by, can we say Alan Rogers? Precinct number 636. So you, as the proposer, get to speak first.
So one thing that I want to say, she violated my trust. And it broke my heart. And I will not be dragged off this street without a congressperson who will make sure that this deplorable non-domestic terrorist has somebody in her corner. And the other thing I would say to you is that in this resolution, we will be giving her more opportunity to address her accusers than she gave our president.
In the interest of fairness, do we have any nays?
What?
Okay, well, the chair recognizes PCO Sean Emerson from precinct
525.
55.
Okay. Oh, got my name time?
No, because he is a
Okay, where's the camera? Okay, Sean Emerson, 525.
Yeah.
6 years ago, I could trace back, I was here, a member of this body, I could trace back to an issue that came before the body 6 years ago that severely divided the Clark County Republican Party. That division remains today. I'm speaking in favor of this resolution. I think it was very well worded. Carolyn Crane, thank you very much for your writing of this resolution. To that effect, Carolyn, 6 years ago, we tried to tell you that this woman was a snake in the grass. And, well, we saw what she was doing, and we knew this was coming. And the one thing that I would like to stand up here today, Carolyn, please come up here and stand with me. Carolyn, I think the party was divided in that vote for censure in 2014. I think that division remains today. I would like to ask you, would you please apologize for yours? Let me finish, let me
This
finish.
is out of order. Let's
I would
discuss
like-
let's discuss the resolution.
I have the floor.
Let's discuss the resolution. Excuse me. No, excuse me. Excuse me. We're gonna discuss the resolution. Sergeant at Arms, please. We're gonna discuss the resolution. Excuse me. We're discussing the resolution here. We're not talking about 6 years ago. No. No, excuse me. No. No, your time is up, sir. We're discussing the resolution, and this does not pertain to the resolution. This doesn't. We're not going to have personal attacks. We're not going to have personal attacks. Please. Please, excuse me. Excuse me, sir. We're discussing the resolution. Okay. Each member will be given 1 minute to speak per item, according to our rules. Are there anybody else that wants to speak? Any nays? Okay, I think we can call for the question here. All those in. No, we've already called for the question. We're gonna just call the question and. Everybody got it. I'm not sure that it's going to be like relative to this vote, so I encourage everybody to read the email that Jaime sent if you'd like. But let's call for the question. All those in favor of approving this resolution, please signify by saying aye. Aye. And do we have it online so that everybody can vote? It's loaded up? Okay. Those opposed, please signify by saying nay. In the opinion of the chair, at least in this room, the ayes have it.